Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Coming Distractions brought to you by the Nerdpocalypse podcast. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host, Micah.
Hey.
All right, guys, we're back. This episode, we are going to talk about Spider-Man No Way Home. This is the non-spoiler review conversation about the newly released Marvel movie starring Tom Holland, Zendaya, and Alfred Molina, Marissa Tomei, and many other things are going on. So, all right, again, non-spoiler conversation. So we're gonna keep this short,
but we will talk about things that were in the trailer.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah,
and Willem Dafoe back as
right.
Green Goblin, Norman.
And that's what I'm talking about. Like, I want to talk about those, those actors.
Yeah, that's fair. And Jamie Foxx, by the way. So, okay, so this movie picks up like immediately after Far From Home with J. Jonah Jameson doing a big news report from his his little Alex Jones type podcast where he's revealing Peter Parker's secret identity, or Spider-Man's secret identity being Peter Parker, and then everything goes off the rails, right? Overall, Micah, what did you think of this movie?
So I'm going to preface this by saying that I'm a fan of, and like most people are, right? Like, it's not like, you're a fan of Spider-Man, or you're a fan of cake too. Yeah. But I say that in that you are not going to get a hypercritical view of Spider-Man. I am completely biased when it comes to Spider-Man properties,
right? That's fair.
Spider-Man media. Having said that, I loved it. I mean, it was. I am amazed that this was done, that this could be done, that it was done, that they were able to pull it off, and that they were able to pull it off with almost no flaws. I can't tell you how much better this movie is compared to the other films in this franchise. And I like almost every single one of the films in the Spider-Man franchise.
Like in the overall Spider-Man franchise.
In the 20 years that Spider-Man has been in live action.
Yeah.
This and Spider-Verse are right there, neck and neck, for the best adaptation of Spider-Man on film. Mm-hmm. And I absolutely love it. I think the main cast finally fits, right? This is a movie that feels like an actual Spider-Man movie telling a Spider-Man story, and not an MCU movie with Spider-Man in it. Does that make sense?
No, that makes sense.
I feel like this is something that only Spider-Man could be in. You know what I mean? And yeah, there are other MCU characters in it, but they play second fiddle, right? In the first two Tom Holland movies, Tony Stark's legacy is there. He's hanging over Spider-Man. He's in the first one, and he's the inspiration for Peter in the first one. His legacy is the thing that is kind of motivating him in the second one. But in this, it's all him.
Yeah.
And Tom Holland, he works as Spider-Man, especially he always has, but especially now. This is it. He is officially the best Peter Parker that I've ever seen. He's got a lot of heavy lifting, and he gets to show his range. He gets to really, really act in this movie. Zendaya has a character now, a fully formed character. She's not just in the first one and but I like you though in the second one. She is a ride or die chick, right? Yeah. She is a fully formed character. Ned, look, Ned doesn't have a lot of growth, but Ned has always been like,
he's been a stellar character from the jump, though. Like he
right.
has
He's
been.
always
He's been a
great
partner
from the jump.
Yeah, he has been.
So, and the three of them, the three of those actors, play very, very well together, man. Look, this movie's amazing, and I can't. I absolutely love it. I mean, of course you're going to see it. The question is, are you going to see it twice? That's the question.
Yeah. Look. You know, I actually disagree with you a little bit here, which is I don't think it's, for me, it's not neck and neck with Into the Spider-Verse. I don't think it is. I think it is so much better. And it's and that's not because I don't think Into the Spider-Verse is literally the best adaptation you've seen to date, right? Like I try not to put it in the same, I don't do what a lot of people do is with like they put it in the same list as the live action movies, because I don't think that's like quite fair, because you're able to do certain things in animation that you can't do in live action. But in this case, I'm going to put it in the list of everything. It's this, then it's Into the Spider-Verse. And it's so fucking good because there are so much, like Into the Spider-Verse, it has so much heart. And that's like, yes, the action sequences are great. Yes, the writing is good. Like, and there is something fucking for everybody in this movie, but it has heart. It really, really does. It has heart in the way that I feel like The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was aiming for, but missed the mark, right? Like it really did. Like it was really trying to tell a heartful, serious story. This does that, but does it, one, successfully. It does a heck of a lot more. It really shows Peter going through it. Like you're absolutely right to say that the other two movies felt more like MCU movies with Spider-Man in them, right? Like obviously he's the focus, but like Iron Man does loom way too heavy in those movies. And understandably, like I get it, right? He's arguably is like, he's like the stand-in for Uncle Ben, like arguably, right? So like right. You can understand that. But in this one, you know, we're far past Tony's death in Endgame. Like he has to be his own man, right? He's no longer just a kid. He's his own man. And you're right. He is fully formed, and like he goes through a lot in this movie, and it is stellar to watch. Like there are some performance moments from Marissa Tomei that were tremendous. Tom Holland especially. Again, like I stand by one of the most powerful things in a Spider-Man movie to date, animated or not, is that "Come on, Spider-Man, get up" scene in Homecoming. It is, because it is pure emotion, and it is that character like personified. Like nobody's going to come to save you, kid. You got all of this power. You got to do this shit for yourself. And you get another moment like that in this movie that like I couldn't help but get choked up, because it's like you're seeing this actor really give it his all in this scene in a movie that's supposed to be basically, it's not really that, like, shouldn't be taken seriously, right? Like on its face, but it has these powerful, serious moments. There's some great callbacks. Like it's just a good time. The balance between characters is really well done, which is incredibly important. And the way it ends leaves this character in a place of like full circle growth in a way that we haven't quite seen before. Look, to say I loved it is an understatement. Like it really is. As I think about it, and obviously I have it like with super, super fresh eyes right now, it's my second favorite MCU movie, period, behind Endgame. It is. And I like,
you mentioned,
and like I have to put Endgame there because Endgame was just like, it was too, like it's almost like too much was going on, right? And something may surpass that in the future. We'll see. But like this is as close to Endgame as you're gonna get. Like it was tremendous. It really was.
You mentioned Endgame, and this movie feels like the Spider-Man version of Endgame, but for 20 years of Spider-Man film.
Yeah, absolutely.
and you know the villains that come back, particularly the ones that the fuck, what are their names? Willem Dafoe, Jamie Foxx, Alfred Molina.
Yeah.
I well, first of all, Alfred Molina is you know, again, I'm biased. Dr. Octopus is my favorite Spider-Man villain, and
Totally
it's like he walked right out of Spider-Man 2. It's amazing.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, he did.
Jamie Foxx, his Electro, you know, it doesn't feel like the same Electro from Amazing Spider-Man.
No, it doesn't. I mean, he feels more like Jamie Foxx in this.
Right.
Yeah.
But for me, that's not necessarily a bad thing.
No, I didn't problem.
I enjoy Jamie Foxx's interpretation of Max Dillon in this.
Yeah.
And my God, Willem Dafoe. I mean, Willem Dafoe,
so good, man.
Willem Dafoe is like Patrick Stewart in terms of Charles Xavier, right? Like,
yeah,
there's literally no other actor that I can see playing Norman Osborn at this point.
Not now. Not now, dude.
Like,
not now.
No. It's just so and the thing about this movie is that, you know how properties usually kind of weaponize nostalgia.
Yeah.
Like movies like Ready Player One that just kind of like,
yeah,
hey, this is from the 80s. You remember this, right?
Yeah, it's just like a cheap pop.
But there's no there.
Right.
This isn't just like weaponized nostalgia. Like, these actors, Jamie Foxx, Willem Dafoe, Alfred Molina, they're not just in here for like a quick minute. Like, no, the story is about them. Like, they are the driving force in the story.
Yeah.
And I was very, very happy to see that, because look, you get these people, I want to see them. You know what I mean?
Like, it could have very well been in a cheaper made movie. And I mean, cheap as in quality, not as in money. Like, in a cheaper made movie, you would just weaponize them to have them show up in the last 30 minutes. You know, they're just like, I'm a villain from another universe. And then, like, they just fight, and it would be fun, but they would have no substantial meaning. That is not what happens at all.
Yeah, they're not cameos, man. They're not cameos.
They're not.
And you will be satisfied. You will be satisfied. Yeah. And look, I don't know what else to say about this thing. I you know, the special effects,
they were great.
The way Spider-Man moves is just amazing to me. Like, I know I keep saying that word, and I'm not trying to like do a Spider-Man pun. I just don't have what's that, the words for it. But we've come a long way from just like 20 years ago. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, like, it's impressive to go back and watch, like, you know, in its time. It's impressive to see, you know, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, like, moving and stuff like that. Like, it was impressive for its time. It absolutely was. And then in in Amazing Spider-Man, in that franchise, like whatever you think of that franchise, and it has plenty of problems, like, Spider-Man moved in ways that we had never seen before, and it was just super impressive. Fast forward to the MCU Spider-Man, and it's just like, Jesus Christ. Like, you thought that we've hit the line of like, oh, these are all the things. Like, we played plenty of video games with Spider-Man. Like, they have figured out all the moves. No, they still have them. Right. And in this one, somehow they are still able to impress and show things that we've never seen before. And like, yeah, some of the movements, man, are just, and like, I remember seeing Homecoming and some of the web slinging. I was like, that doesn't look very good. But boy, is that not the case in this one. Like, the web slinging and stuff like this is fucking flawless. Like, it really is. Yeah. Like, it's the best he's ever looked. Look, we haven't mentioned Doctor Strange obviously is in this. And plays an interesting role. Like, his position in this movie is a little bit different than I thought it would be. And I appreciated just exactly, like, again, I don't want to give away spoilers, but I appreciated just how much he's in the movie and what he did, right? Like, because I think it's important without like overstuffing the movie and having him there like 99% of the time, because he's not.
Yeah, it's he is there as a means to an end, right?
Right.
And this story has parallels to another infamous Spider-Man story, and in the comics, and in that there's a supernatural like character that helps Peter do something similar. And in this, it just makes more sense for Doctor Strange to be there. Right. But Doctor Strange does not overstay his welcome. And you get some cool Doctor Strange
moments,
like stuff happening in here.
Yeah, you do.
And look, I love that first movie. I think I love it a little more than most people. But to see some of those visuals that Strange can do, you see it in like the marketing and stuff like that in the trailers. To see it in this, like, I still love it. It still amazes me.
It's very impressive, and you get more than you like. Again, like, and this is my favorite thing about the MCU is like I thought Doctor Strange the first movie was fine. I didn't like, not even fine. Like, I thought it was good, but it felt too much like Iron Man for me. I was just like, I wanted more. Like, don't get me wrong, the special effects I thought were incredible, right? They were just mind blowing. But my favorite part about the MCU is this very moment, is the next time the characters show up, like, they're like, oh, did you think that first thing was cool? Well, if you didn't, we're gonna make you love this character, right? We're gonna go full board and do something super impressive to pull you in if you aren't already on board, and if you are on board, we're gonna blow your mind again, right? And like, Strange, then, like, when you saw Strange in the first movie, it was like, all right, cool, got it. Then when you saw him again in Infinity War, you were like, whoa, okay, like, those special effects were really dope. Yeah, well, in this one, they're even better than they were in Infinity War and in Endgame. You get to see more of what he can do. So I cannot imagine where his second movie goes. So, like, yeah, he was dope. Like, but again, he doesn't overstay his welcome. He is there enough to really establish himself and show what he can do and why he's important to that story. But like, and then like, he's got other things happening. So yeah, look, all in all, I think it was phenomenal. Like, I really do. If you want to score, 7 out of 5 for me. Yeah, high on emotion, super high on action, great story. Loved it. Characters, everything.
Multiple times I'm getting choked up in this thing, and I'm an emotional movie watcher. You know what I mean? If your movie pulls me in, I'm there.
Right.
And I mean, shit. Almost my voice almost shook thinking about some of the stuff that happens in this movie. And look, if you're an emotional movie watcher, you won't cry. You won't cry too. That's fine. Yeah. That's fine. You could be a grown man crying at a Spider-Man movie. That's fine. I ain't going to look. I'm not going to judge you.
I live in a giant glass house. Okay, like, knock it off. It's like, I understand what's happening right now. Yeah, no, it was good, man. It's super good. Like, if you're an MCU fan, I don't see how you don't love this movie. Like, I really don't. And I think the way this leaves Spider-Man is going to solve a lot of issues that a lot of people have had throughout this potential trilogy, and I think that's a good thing. Like, I think it shores up one aspect that I think needed to be shored up, but it does it with style. So I appreciated that. So yeah, everything, man, it was super good. We will be back with a spoiler conversation about Spider-Man No Way Home soon after this. So that's it for the non-spoiler version, and we will see you guys next time.
See ya.